welcome to TNT Presents Wednesday night's main event. I am one of your hosts, Kelly Bullock, the Creek Junkie extraordinaire. And right beside me is Mr. Danny Stone Outdoors.
Hey, how y'all doing?
As you see, it's just the two of us. Kevin he's back to work now, but work is kicking his butt and he's tired. He's wore out. It's putting a whooping on him right now. So he is home resting. He's probably watching, but he is home resting. So he has left me by myself tonight, which is just fine. We can handle it. Can't we, Danny?
Oh yeah, we'll be fine.
We can handle it. We can handle it. We can handle it. So
If
normally we get into
pushed off the couch here.
normally can get into the show and we're like, okay, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, things like that. But we all know where you're from, Danny. We all know about you.
Everybody knows up.
We want to talk about some of the
Mississippi, baby.
Yep. We want to talk about some of the stuff that nobody's talked about. Nobody's mentioned to you and asked you questions. So I guess the first thing is what we just talked about before the show was a fish that you've been only one about really been catching them. And you had mentioned over the last so many years, you've caught 11 of them.
Caught 11 of them in the past 17 years, and that's the pieballs. And there's been,
pieball.
It's a big deal to me when anybody else catches one. I immediately reach out to them. I know Mike Greenwell got one.
Mm-hmm.
Lee Evans caught a pieball last year, I think it was. There's been several other guys, and I reached out to them every one because we got like a little pieball club going. But yeah, I've been fortunate enough that there's people like when I was talking to Creole, he said, I know people that have fished their entire lives and never even seen a pieball. Mm-hmm. And I've caught 11 of them in 17 years, and I've caught 3 or 4 since I've started my YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. 3 I know for sure I've caught.
Yeah, 3 that I know of. I've seen.
Yeah, I had the one with the question mark on his head. Then I had a little bitty small one that looked like a calico cat. And then most recently we got the one we called the Venom cat because it looks like Venom from Marvel.
Yeah, it had like the Venom teeth on it looking. Yeah.
But strangely enough, when I took Stacia fishing after me and her first got married, she'd never fished the Mississippi River. And I don't know if she really did much catfishing in her lifetime. But I took her to the Mississippi River for the very first time. And on the very first cast of her rod, she caught a 36-pound pieball. That was her first fish out of the Mississippi River. Now, I posted pictures of that fish before, and I'll probably post them again here sometime soon. But nice. It was funny. We were set up and camping on the Mississippi, and we set rods out. And this was in late fall, and it was cold. And we were down on the river, and she started getting chilled. And she goes, "Well, can we go up to the campfire for a little while, sit and warm up?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And just leave the rods sticking in the rocks there. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Yeah, that's the mortal words of losing a rod into the water is they'll be just fine.
We were gone for about 20 minutes, and we came walking back down the riverbank, and she turned and looked at me. She goes, "My rod's gone." And I'm like, "Oh crap!" So I grabbed a spare rod and I started casting out with a treble hook, and I'm throwing out, and reeled about 30 times, and I was ready to give up. And the last time I threw out there, I reeled up, and I had a piece of line on there, and I grabbed it and started pulling up, and the rod came out of the water. And I handed it to her, and she started reeling in. She goes, "I'm hung up on something," and it was coming in. It was just dragging like dead weight. Yeah. She goes, "Yeah," I said, "It must have been a log got caught on the line and pulled the rod in, but it's coming in, but it's heavy." And I said, "You got a fish?" She goes, "No, it's just something like a log or something that's dead weight." And she reeled that thing all the bank. All of a sudden, this huge, massive white head came out of the water at the edge of the bank, and when it did, he exploded. Then you knew it was a fish because he took off like a rocket.
Because he didn't know he had anything on him.
Well, when his head broke the surface, he realized he was hooked. And he took off. Yep. Now, the funny part is while it was peel and drag, the reel came off of the reel seat from the rod. So she's holding the rod. I got the reel. I'm trying to get it back on. I'm holding it on one side, and she's holding the handle, trying to crank it while I got it in my hand. So she's pulling it like that. I finally got it back in the reel seat, tacked down, and said, "Okay, you're good. Go." And she reeled it up, and we got that fish on the bank, and she started screaming real loud. And this old couple that was camped down the river from us, they come flying down their truck. They thought I was killing her. That old man and old woman come down there to whoop me, buddy. They thought I was down there hurting her. I said, no, she's screaming because she caught a big catfish. It's a piebald. And they were like, oh my God. And they took pictures for us and stuff. It was pretty cool. But that was her first time fishing with me on Mississippi, and it was a great experience.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Oh,
we got 12 wonderful people in the house. We got 922 Crappie Barbecue, Double Hook Angling, Fin Seeker TV, Mr. Jeremy Colvin himself, Mr. River Rat 3030. What's going on, Ernest?
Ernie.
We got Mr. Tolley. There's Coastal Waters, Miss Uptown Chrissy Brown, Mr. Steve Ransom. We got Max Sampsey, and I believe, and Hillbilly Hando himself.
And I see, did you say Coastal Water? And
yep.
You did say Mr. Tully, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fin Seeker TV. Man, we got some cool people up here. Double Hook Angling.
Yep.
That's my brother right there, buddy. I'll tell you what.
I've already actually, Dave. We were sitting here talking. I actually was been sitting here tying up jigs. I tied up one yesterday. A couple yesterday. Daughter tied up one yesterday. She calls
I'll tell you what.
She calls it a bluegill dessert.
Bluegill dessert. Yeah,
bluegill
whenever
dessert.
Me and Coda. That's dessert. Cool looking. Nice.
Yep. She calls it a bluegill dessert.
I always look at jigs like that. The first thing in my mind is would I look at it and say, would I throw that for skipjack? And I would definitely throw that one because they've been hitting some sorted colors over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Double Hook Angling here, Dave. I wanted to tell him super thanks. I know I've already told him already, but not from me, from Coda, because she wore her lucky Double Hook Angling shirt that night when she got her new PB 39 pounder on the Beaver Believer tournament.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and she absolutely protects that shirt like it's made out of gold now. She goes, nobody touches my Double Hook shirt. So don't be touching it. Don't be rubbing the luck off of it. Yep. Leave it alone.
Yep. There's Tim Molina in the house.
Tim Molina, how you doing, buddy?
We got Fishing for Whiskers.
Hey.
Yep. Dave said he tied a few today. Yeah, I tied 2 today, definitely, and I tied a couple of them yesterday, so I'm getting back into it. Yeah, Trophy Seekers Outdoor. Mr. Daryl's in the house. He said, Kevin out again? Yep, he is. Yeah, he's fine. He's just tired.
Yeah, Daryl, he just wore out from working. You know, he's not used to work. It's going to take it a little while to get adapted to it.
He's not used to going back and hitting it quickly and fast.
Yeah, it's going to be an adjustment for him.
Absolutely. There's my daughter, Sky's in the house.
Hey, Sky.
We got 13 wonderful people in the house. Let's talk a little bit of, we want to talk about something that a lot of people don't know is your second passion of fishing.
Oh, yeah, saltwater surf fishing. But a lot of people do know that I do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we used to take at least 2 trips to Florida every year. Because fishing off the beach, man, that is, I tell you what, that's probably the only thing that can pull me away from the Mississippi River and catfishing. Saltwater fishing is an absolute passion of mine because that you've heard them all say it. You know, it's like a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. Yep. There's so many different species and all kinds of weird, freaky stuff down there. But number one rule of thumb is 99.9% of them can bite your finger off. So you can't just go there and grab them and lip them and like you can these other fish. You just don't do it.
Oh, absolutely. What's the weirdest fish you've caught down in the ocean?
For me,
Something you didn't expect to catch.
Well, I don't even think any of them were really weird. If you want to go toothiest, besides the shark, the one that probably almost got me was a bluefish. I knew very little about them at the time,
Mm-hmm.
but they got teeth like a cotton picking piranha, and I
Okay.
almost messed up because I went to grab him and he spun around there. And I saw that jaw open up and I seen those teeth and I flung him up on the bank. I said, "You're bait." I said, "I'm cutting you up right here, right now. Not
Oh yeah.
giving you the opportunity to take my hand off or my fingers."
Double Hook said no live for him on Friday. All right. Appreciate the heads up. Definitely, I'll have to find something else to watch while I go to work.
Yeah, they got me working in a different job site now. We're working a construction on a new factory. Before,
Mm-hmm.
when I was building the houses, I'd get the break just in time to watch Dave on Friday. But where they got me working out now, it's just not possible. So I miss seeing Dave on Friday.
Oh yeah. Yep. And that's my go-to show when I'm on the road heading to Tennessee to work.
There's Fishing Fever. What's
Yep.
going on, Austin?
There's Austin. There's
Yeah,
Shad Daddy in the house. There's Ashley Brady. We got Johnny Small Peppers has joined us.
I've been watching more of Johnny Smallpepper lately. I said, man, you know, I'm crazy. That boy's crazy, crazy. Man, I don't know how he does what he does, man. I mean, it's impressive. It really is.
Oh yeah.
I'd be in the hospital with a stomach pump doing just one show with him.
Oh, all the hot peppers and all that
Oh
stuff
my
that he does.
God.
Yeah, now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's impressive. I'll tell you that. He knows what he's doing, though.
Oh yeah.
He's a professional spicy eater.
Yeah. Dave said, "Sorry, but Gregory and I have plans. I'm hoping your plans is go fishing and doing a live fishing, but I'm guessing you're going to do videos or do some recording. But so when you go, like normally when you go saltwater, you already have set up different rods and reels that you're going to use off the beach, or is it the same you're using for catfish?
You would think so, but
Yes.
Black Betty originated as she was bought solely for fishing on the beach down in Florida
Mhm.
and in Alabama. That was her sole purpose. And one day I just decided to do something crazy. I thought, man, I'm going to take that big old 16-foot surf rod to the Mississippi River. And I got out there and was throwing my regular rods, which I mean, all the rods I got, they're absolutely fantastic rods. I got Uncle Lou rods, I got Mad Cats rods, I got Muddy River rods, I've got a Freddy rod. They're all absolutely fantastic rods, and each one of them serve a special purpose for whatever I'm doing.
Mhm.
That being said, that 16-foot rod, what I found out, uh, basically just by dumb luck, by taking that thing with me, is how far that thing would throw out in the river.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting out there where there's guys going by in boats, suspend drifting and stuff, or spot locking. And I've always sat on the bank and thought, man, if I could just get a line out there where they're at, because I've watched them catching fish, and here I am back on the shore throwing, and I'm getting halfway, three-quarters of the way out there to where they normally suspend at. And when I took that 16-foot surf rod with a 6-ounce weight and I threw it out there as hard as I could throw it, and I thought, my God, I said, I actually went further out there than what those guys are. And I started getting on the big catfish. Uh, Black Betty's responsible for more of my big fish than any other rod that I've got because of that fact. And a lot of people made fun of me for that big surf rod. But if you ever get a chance, if you're fishing from the bank and you need to get out there further, don't use a 12-foot orange crush. They make 14-foot orange crushes now.
Mhm.
Or get you a surf rod. Just
Yeah.
just buy you one.
Oh yeah.
And you're going to freak out when you can see how far you can get that out there. You're going to be fishing in areas that you never got to fish before, standing in the same spot just because you're able to reach them now.
Yeah.
It makes a difference. It's put a lot of big fish on the board for me by doing that. My 70-pound PB came off of Black Betty.
Oh yeah. There's Mr. Kevin himself.
There's KB. What's up, brother Kevin? Not feeling well, nerves starting. Brother, I understand. I understand. Hey,
Yep.
working
Y'all
life
do.
is a hard life. I'm telling you. Kevin, I want to say I am most impressed with your recovery. Uh, man, you scared the living crap out of me. I thought, well, he's done. He'll never be back on there again. But you showed me, didn't you? You sure did.
Oh yeah. Especially
You
as quick
can't
as
keep
he
a good
recovered.
man
Especially as quick as
down.
he recovered.
Fantastic, amazing recovery from Kevin. And man, I'm just tickled to death about it. Avid, what's going on, my brother?
There's avid fisherman. There's
Yep.
Stuart the fish whisperer.
Yep.
What's going on, buddy? Yeah, they're Shad Daddy's want me to come down there and go fishing with him. He's down in Knoxville.
Well, I've
I
been
need to
trying
make
to.
a trip down. I need to
Yep.
make a trip to Tennessee and go fishing.
I've
I really
got
do.
I've got such a list of people that that have contacted me that want to come up and fish with us on the Mississippi River. And man, I'm all for it. Absolutely. I mean, I'll fish with anybody, anytime, and I'd love to have them up here. That being said, they need to be prepared for the fact that some of the spots that I go to that we'd have to go to, it's billy goat territory. It's not a walk on a sidewalk and stop on a sandy beach kind of thing.
Where do you
You're
think I go fishing?
Yeah. Well, I was saying a lot of people see me down there sitting on those concrete slabs and stuff. You got to go through woods and briar patches and then climb down rocks and everything to get down in there. So yeah, I'll take anybody fishing, but you're probably not going to be going to them spots like that where the best fishing is going to be because I don't want to drag anybody through that
Oh yeah.
unless they're up for it. If you're feeling froggy, we'll jump.
Yeah. We got Backlash is in here. Avid says, Danny, after I get the truck fixed, I'll come down and fish with you.
There you go.
Austin wants to know how many ounces is Black Betty rated for?
10, believe it or not. It makes no sense to me because that is a surf rod, and dude, I have landed 3, 4, 5 foot bull sharks on that rod, and it just makes no sense to me that a rod be rated that low when it's built to handle uh, bigger saltwater fish and stuff. And it handled that 70 pounder. Uh, that was caught on a live stream with was doing a show. It's me and Jerry Parker, Creole, and we even had Tim Scott on the show that night. With Richard was there, and man, that was what really made my day was the fact that the Catfish Heroes was up on panel when I landed my 70-pound PB on Black Betty. I mean, that you couldn't ask for a better setup than that. I mean, if you got Tim Scott on your show, you want to do something to impress him for sure. And that definitely paid off for me that night.
There's my buddy Bearded Eagle in the house. What's going on, bud? Oh, Abbott said that's he said, you mean Bigfoot country.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's where I fish.
Yeah.
That's where I fish.
One of the things I want to do, I'm wanting to get up there and fish I want to go fish the Kaskaskia with Abbott. I want to go up there and meet up with Abbott and fish the Kaskaskia River. That's on my bucket list to do. I've fished the Kaskaskia before, but I want to do it with avid fishing.
Yeah. Yep. Backlash says I fish with the Blair Witch. Yes, I do. So where I fish, you gotta watch your back. You gotta watch over your shoulders. You gotta watch where you're at because there's always eyes prying on you.
The same thing here. I mean, there's a lot of times. There's two reasons I go to the spots that I go to that are really, really hard to get to. Number one, generally that's where you're going to find your better fishing spots. They've had less pressure put on them and stuff like that. But unfortunately, in these days and times, especially on the weekends, there's a lot of, let's say, sketchy people hanging out on the river on the weekends, that ain't got fishing in mind.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you get everything from your drunks to your drug heads, and you try to get as far away from those areas where they hang out as you possibly can, because that is The cool thing to do is go down there and throw a big old party on the river, and God knows what goes on. So I get as far away from it as I can. I go to spots that they're not going to be trying to get to. It's too much work for
I think who was it? Johnny Small Pepper said that he can't see Avid. It's because because Kevin's not here. We're still simulcasting both channels. So there's some people that's in my channel, some people's going to be on his channel with KMB English channel. So,
them. And with the simulcasting, great idea as far as
I get a lot of people. I get a lot of feedback that a lot of people don't like it.
Well, I'm getting there.
A lot of people don't like it because they can't see the chat. And here's the thing. We've been hollering at
objection to it.
We've been hollering at YouTube to be able to, when we do this simulcast with StreamYard, that both YouTube channels should be able to see it, but they're not.
Yeah. Yeah, because anytime I'm watching any of the shows, like when you and Kevin are on, I have to have the laptop on one of your channels. I have to have my phone on the other, and I hate trying to type on that phone. It's so much easier on the laptop.
Oh yeah.
Same thing whenever I'm watching Creole and Muskrat. I've got two devices running, so I can see the chat in both of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody knows how well I do with chat.
Yeah.
I don't do well with chat. As far as reading it, in my defense, most of the time it's during the daytime. I cannot see my phone when the sun, but the screen I got is just blacked out.
Oh yeah.
Now, at night, whole different ball game. I really interact with the chat at night because I can see the screen perfectly well.
Yeah.
But my chat reading abilities are very, very limited. And then to have to try to read them on two screens at the same time. Yeah,
oh yeah.
Get that.
Yeah, and the reason why we did it was we did it because we can help each other's out our watch time, and it's a lot easier because, and also a lot of people that watch the show sometimes they watch it on my channel but don't watch it on his, so this way we both can help each other out. So
right, yeah, it's definitely a benefit as far as sharing the views and all that stuff like that. But the handicap part of it of not being able to see chat both of them, that's something that just really it bugs me. I don't like that.
And it is.
Backlash Fisherman says, I dropped a video today with an interesting way to retrieve a lure from a snag. Well, I will definitely be watching that.
Yeah, because we just let our lures go.
Yeah, well, I lose a lot of rigs in the Mississippi River because I fished them rocky areas, and man, that's where you got to go if you want to find them big catfish. So they're in them rocks. They're not up on that flat sandbar.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's one cast, one fish. What's going on? Appreciate you coming in here.
That's a new one to me. I've never seen that channel.
Appreciate it. Hope you enjoy what you're seeing, and will stay and hang out with us more often. And talking about fishing, when we talked a little bit before the show, we was talking about family. How good it is to fish with family.
Oh yeah,
not all of us have that opportunity to have our significant other or our grandkids or kids or anything like that go out fishing with us. So, what does it mean to you to have that?
Oh, everything. I mean, Coda, and anybody that's been watching lately knows who Coda is. The river rat brat, Coda cat. That's my granddaughter. And I started off taking her out on the John boat with a trolling motor, and we went to some creeks and stuff like that. And when she was just a toddler, she landed her first channel cat, and she fished with me for a while after that. But then she lost interest. But here lately, the flame has been relit. The spark has ignited, and she is so pumped up about fishing now. She's really into it. And that kind of got Stacia, because Stacia hadn't fished with me for this weekend was the first time she fished with me in over 5 years. She just lost interest in it. But when Coda caught that 39-pounder on the Fever Believer channel, that kind of put a spark in the station too. She saw how much fun Coda was having, and it reminded her just how much fun you can have fishing as a family out there on the river.
Absolutely.
And the biggest thing for me is that is the only time that that I'm really not worried about me catching anything is when they're with me, because I want to see them reeled in and see the expression, because I'm gonna get just as excited about them doing it, because man, every little fish I catch, y'all see me, I get excited about all of them, and I hoop and holler and act a fool. It's just multiplied when I see one of my grandkids or my wife get into it. But we're gonna try to go out this weekend. The kids will be here Friday. We get them every other weekend, and they'll be here Friday. And Coda is pumped up and wanting to hit the Mississippi River. So it may be me, Stacia, Coda, Brantley, and Kylie. We're gonna take the whole family and go out and do a show. If nobody else has got tournaments or anything going on, we may go live. If not, we'll just shoot some footage and make a video for y'all.
We got JG Hill in the studio. Let's see. I missed something here. Shad Daddy says, "Do I hunt deer?" No, I do not. Never once have I ever went out deer hunting.
I own 10 acres of land about 5 miles out of town up here on the hill. There's hill property west of Malden, where I live here. And I got 10 acres of land that's just eat up with deer. And yes, deer hunting was an extreme passion of mine, but it has taken a back seat over the past 3 years to catfishing in the wintertime. Last year, I think I only hunted 2 days, when normally I would go set up the camper and I'd stay out in the woods for 2 weeks. Last year, I was out there 2 days. I said, man, I got to get back to the river. The year before that, I shot a video. I mean, it's on my channel, where I filmed 8 bucks that morning, and it was just trying to get video footage for YouTube. And I was filming bucks coming in and all that, and getting all the deer footage for a deer hunting video. And I sat there and thought, man, I bet you they're catching some big ones on the river right now. I said, next deer walks out, I'm popping it, and I'm getting out of here. And I wound up shooting an 8-pointer. After I let a 10 and a 12 walk by, I turned around and shot an 8-pointer. I said, well, that's kind of stupid, But I got them on video, so that was good for something anyway.
Absolutely. Oh, we got
there's my buddy Creo.
Yep, Creo in the house.
Have you seen the new thing that John Parker made for the River Rats?
Yes.
On it? Man, that thing is cool, buddy.
Sharp.
That John Parker's something else, man.
He is.
That he's made several of them for us, and that by far is my favorite. I love that sticker he made.
Absolutely. Tim Lee said everybody loves to see kids fish, because every time we catch a fish, we feel like kids again. Absolutely.
That is 100% true. That's 100% true. Their excitement just spills right over and gets all over you. Danny's only worried about filling his boots full of water. Well, that depends on the size of the fish. If it's big fish, I don't care. I'll get water in my boots. I'll do it in a minute. I've waded out in the water after a big catfish many times and did not care. I went out in the wintertime and waded out there and got one off of a snag with snow on the ground, and the water so cold that my feet almost got frostbite. Catfish People Outdoors, Lynn, what's up, my brother?
What's up, Lynn?
Yeah, I missed out. Normally, I pop in on the Hog Legs, the Boris Nest every morning. This morning they called me to work a little early, and Lynn actually messaged me because he's working. He said, "Man, there's got to be something wrong. Dave Stone didn't show up." I'm like, "No, man, I've been here. It's just that, I was driving a backhoe, and then I'd jump over an excavator. I had about 4 pieces of equipment I had to run today, and so we were a little bit behind on some construction we were doing. So I got in there today and got them caught up.
I figured you had got in early, because where I hadn't seen you on there. I figured you jumped and went to work a lot earlier than normal.
Yeah. Well, they got a certain schedule they want us to keep, and And there's some things come up when they pulled us off that job to go to another one, and then when you go back over there, they expect you to catch back up to where you were.
Yeah. Yep.
So sometimes you
Yep.
got to put in a few more hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Appreciate Creo for hitting the thumbs up on both sides. Definitely, guys. If you want to switch over to KMB and hit that thumbs up, if you've got a second device, go ahead and do that. That'll help him out on his side too. Hit the thumbs up on my side and share us out, definitely. And one thing, I don't push this a lot, and I try not to, but if you I am monetized now, so there is ways to help support the channel. So if y'all want to do that, there's plenty of ways to do that on my channel. So we've got memberships and all that stuff already set up for everybody. So it's one way to help support it. And Danny Stone's got his, Creo's got his. I know a few others has got theirs all set up too. It's just one way all of us to get together and we can help support each other, is to give back to the channel for what they do for us.
Tim Molina says hurricane, lightning, blizzard. Danny Stone don't care. He'll chew. You know
Yep.
what? I've caught some of my best fish in some of the worst weather. Now, that being said, it absolutely drives my wife bonkers. She can't stand it. There's been a couple times that she's been watching my live, and she'd see lightning striking all around me, and it about gives her a nervous breakdown. And I actually got caught in a dadgum tornado one time out there. The high with straight line winds, and it was during a tournament that Kevin was having. It was the
I remember that.
yeah.
I remember that.
And I lost probably about half my gear that night into the river. But that was the 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 ultimate challenge. What was the? It's where if you won a Iron Cats tournament. Okay, the only people that could fish in this tournament, you had to have won an Iron Cats tournament.
Yep.
And it made me sick to my stomach because I was still in it. I had catfish on the board. All you had to do is catch one catfish that was 17 inches long. It started off every 4 hours, and every 2 hours, and every 1 hour. And I made it to the third round, and that storm hit and put me out of it. The storm put me out of it. And Brian B, I think, went on to win that. And I would have loved to finish that out and give Brian B a run for his money.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we could sit there and nickel and dime one fish at a time all night long. I don't care. He can catch 20, but all I need is one.
Yep. Tim Molina says lightning strikes, tarps blown away. Said it was glorious.
Yeah. And I finally, it got bad enough that I actually ran up and got in the truck, which is something I normally don't do. I mean, I'll sit through a rain and stuff like that, but it was getting pretty sketchy. I heard trees snapping off and falling in the woods behind me, and I thought, you know what? There's a point where people are going to start saying that it's absolutely stupid what you're doing. And I didn't want them thinking that to the point,
Yeah.
you know, that I'm risking my life. I'm not going to do that. And,
Oh, yeah.
you know, made it up to the truck. I left the generator running. The lights were standing up there, and I could see lights down there shining on the bank. And all of a sudden, the lights went out. And I went down there, and a big washout had filled out with a flash flood. And it took my tripod, my lights, my extension cord. It buried all my rods in the mud. It knocked them over the rod holders. The tips were sticking out of the dirt. I had to dig down and find all my rods and stuff. I was done that night.
Yep.
Yep. That's when I got my name, the Mississippi River Madman. Yep. But you know what? As long as it's not right up on me, there's a lot of times I can fish in a lightning storm if it's far enough off. Which this is not safe, guys. I'm not telling you to do what I do, but I have gotten some of the most amazing screenshots with me holding up. I got one where I'm holding up a flathead catfish, and lightning is going across the sky behind me.
I sent you a picture of that.
Yes, and that is one of the most amazing screenshots I've ever had. And I've had so many people that saw that picture, they'd go, "It's fake. It's screenshot. It's Photoshop. It's Photoshop." I said, "Dude, no, that's all God right there. He lit up the sky when I was holding up that flathead." I'm like, you couldn't ask for a better moment right then.
And a word from our sponsors: do not try this at home.
Don't do
We do
what I
not
did.
condone Danny's
Yeah,
actions.
yeah. I pushed the envelope on it way too far, guys. I really do.
And
Yeah,
Double Hook says, "I said it before. Lightning rod wheelchair."
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's a bigger target than I am. I mean, I'm out there with a 16-foot rod, sticking up in the air like a lightning rod. But
He's like, "I don't mind rain, but don't like being out there when it's lightning." But I mean,
but
we're not directly underneath the lightning. Usually, the
right,
lightning's little ways down the way.
and generally I'm down there on the flattest part of the bank. The worst thing you can do is to run up the bank and get up there under the trees. You're multiplying your chances of getting hit doing that.
Oh yeah,
You're better off on the lowest, flattest part of the ground you can get to. Don't
oh yeah,
climb up and don't sit under a tree. Huge
oh
mistake.
yeah, oh yeah. It is. You're
But
better off being in the open.
but all in all,
Your chances are slim to none in the open.
yeah. But do not go fishing in a lightning storm. If you're in a boat, no, get out of there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But even on the bank, just go to your truck and wait it out if you want, or pack it up and go home.
Yeah.
But I've done it for so many years. It's not a smart thing to do. I'll be the first one to tell you it's a dumb thing to do. But uh, like I said, I've gotten a lot of great fish and a lot of great pictures from it. It's not
Well,
worth it, but
oh yeah.
it has been so far. But
Yeah.
I'm sure if I push my luck too hard, I'll pay the price for it someday.
Oh yeah. We're gonna change gears real quick. It's that part of the show that we do our little spotlight of the week. So let me cue that up, and we'll get that, and we'll be right back with Danny Stone here in just a minute. Yeah, that's our good buddy, Mr.
Oh,
Jeff
Jeff,
Beal
that's
himself.
one cool dude right there,
Yeah,
man.
he is. He's really cool. So, thanks to Kevin for putting that together for us today. He finished it. He was actually working on it last week, and where he wasn't feeling good last week, he didn't finish it, and so I had to put one together last week. So, but he was able to finish it and get it ready for us this week. So definitely.
There's Melissa with the Danny Stone, Danny Stone, Danny Stone. That's what they do every morning on Hog Legs channel
Yep.
to get me in there. They say my name 3 times and I'll show up.
Yep. And there's Dink over Stink.
Hey, Dink.
What's up, Dink? Yep.
So let's talk about CatCon.
Yeah.
Are you
I
pumped
was
up
going to
for
bring
that?
that up, but
Are you excited?
Oh yeah. So we're what? Almost what? We're at around 100 something days left.
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And God willing, and the floods don't come.
The creek don't rise.
Yeah, God willing, the creek don't rise. You're going to have all 4 river rats for the first time at CatCon this year.
Woohoo!
Yeah, we're probably going to all get up together and we'll let people take some pictures of that. Because you've never had all 4 of us at the same place at the same time. Now, me and Richard have met up with Parker, and me and Richard have met up with Creole. But never have we had Creole and Parker meet up with us at the same time. So this will be a first that all 4 river rats get to meet at and be there and say hi to everybody.
Yeah. Oh, good gosh, Creo.
You got it.
Bask in glory. Oh.
We may set up a table over there and just sign autographs or something. I don't know.
Hey, here's somebody that I'm really gonna love to meet, and he just said it. I have rooms at the hotel already. Mr. Dave from Double Hook Angling is going to be at CatCon.
That is going to be, oh man.
That is going to be sweet.
That's going to be amazing.
I'm ready to see him.
Dave scared us for one day. He came on the board's desk. He was real upset, and by the time he was done talking, we were all upset because Dave said he wasn't going to be able to make it. And man, I'll tell you what, my heart sunk down into my boot when I found out Dave wasn't going to be able to make it.
Yeah.
But then I found out later on that he is coming, and I tell you what, that news made my day a whole lot brighter. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah. Creo. Oh, I missed it.
Yeah.
The Danny's first words out of his mouth when he met me was, "Dang, you're a big dude."
I didn't think he'd be. You know what? I've been surprised by a lot of people that I thought were going to be big and I thought were going to be small, and it's always been the opposite.
So who's out of all the people that you've met fishing or at CatCon, who surprised you the most?
Stan.
What they look like?
Stan too.
Stan too.
Yeah, I didn't picture Stan being as big as he was.
I didn't picture him being short as he is. I mean, he's not short. Don't get me wrong. He's not like really short. It's just like.
But I thought he was really short.
That's what I thought. I thought he was like really, really short, like short person, but he's not. But I was like, he's not that short. I was like,
he's a big guy.
Yeah. He surprised me. Who else surprised me? The twins.
Yeah.
Eric and Curtis.
Yeah.
They surprised me. I just didn't expect them.
But overall, we all talk about it. Everybody that's been to CatCon, we talk about what a great experience it is, and I don't care how much we talk about it. I'll tell you, until you go and you lived it, you can't believe it. It is absolutely the most amazing time you will have in your life. Getting to go up and shake their hands and hug these people that you've become close with on YouTube. And it's an opportunity to meet the most amount of people in the shortest period of time. And another great one.
Murillo.
I haven't made it yet.
Monster.
I'm planning. I'll try to make it this next one. But another one is the Gathering that Trophy Secrets Outdoors throw. If you can make it to the Gathering, by all means, get down there. Absolutely. Anytime you get to go up and actually shake hands, hug them, and get that physical face-to-face contact with them, it's a whole different ball game. Absolutely a whole different ball game. And the bonds
some people said they were surprised to see me. They didn't expect. They didn't expect. They didn't expect what I'd look like in person when I got there. I surprised a lot of them.
And you don't live that far from Louisville, do you?
No, about 3 hours south.
Okay, well, I'm 5, so I actually thought you were closer than that.
I mean, the way I went, because I went out the bypass and took that way and go up and around instead of going up to Lexington and going that way. I think it was like a 2.5 hour drive. I got there.
Copy Day Fish on said Mark Catfish Crappie is bigger than he was. Mark was bigger than I thought he'd be.
Mm-hmm.
I got to hang out with Mark, after everything was done during the day, and we were going back to the hotel room. And I got to hang out with Mark at the hotel. We went down and had a drink at the bar. And I'm gonna tell you something. That guy is the most. He's full of wisdom and he's full of crap. No, if you ever got the chance to sit down with Mark from Catfish and Crappie and have a conversation, I promise you, take advantage of it because it is absolute pleasure talking to Mark.
Yeah.
Great guy. Great guy.
Oh yeah, he is. He's got a lot of knowledge. He really does.
Oh yeah.
All right, what's trying to figure out what anybody else is saying. Everybody's talking about the
The gathering.
gathering.
Yeah, it's at Chester Frost Park.
Yep.
Uh,
And you need to look if you're gonna do it, you better be looking at campsites now.
well, if there's any left.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say because when Daryl was on
if-
here
Yeah.
the last time, he did say that they were almost completely booked up already.
yeah, but that's not a problem because there are hotels that are really close by that location too, and
Yeah.
that could be an option for you. Which
Oh,
some
yeah.
people prefer that option because was it last year when they were out there and the storm hit? It rained real hard and wind was blowing tents over and stuff. Or was it
Yes,
year
I think
before?
so.
Yeah. And the people in the hotel were like, "Thank God I didn't get a campsite." Now me, I would have fit right in. It wouldn't have bothered me a bit. But
Oh yeah. Yes, Guy. If you want to come on down, yes, we will be doing the word of the week. So while she's coming down later, we can think of a word. So every week we do a word of the week. So if anybody wants to come up with a word that we normally don't use, but it's something that pertains to our everyday life. So get one ready for us, and then my daughter will give us the definition. But yeah, Tim Scott was a different one. I mean, we've seen him on online on YouTube a lot, but not in person. And it's like to see him in person, it just like it blew my mind just to actually see him in person. And then
I've met Tim Scott. I've met Tim
see
Scott on
Sean.
several occasions. So yeah, he's
Yeah.
a great guy. But
Yeah.
Creole's talking about the time me and Richard come and met him. He was working down in Arkansas. About it's about a 3 hour drive for me and Richard to go down there.
Yeah.
And he was at a job site that we knew where he was at because we fished. I've trout fished that area before where he was at. And me and Richard got talking. I said, "Man, let's run down there." He said, "Well, he's working." I'm like, "I don't care."
It's like, who cares?
And we tracked him down because he said on a live stream, what hotel he was staying at and everything. So he spilled the beans. And so me and Richard, we drove down there and we spent the whole freaking day running around that town because we knew Creole wasn't getting there till later that evening.
Yeah.
And we'd drive by the hotel and said, "He's not here yet. He's not here. Well, let's go do something else. Let's go look at the river and go hang out over here and go get something to eat." And we run around all day in that town. And we came back by finally, we saw that construction, the truck there with the big van or box van pulled behind it. And Richard said, "That's him." And we went through and we were peeking in the windows of every hotel room down there. We were peeking in along the motel. And I looked in the window and said, "Got him." And we went banging on the door. He opened the door, "What the crap?" And so we snuck up on Creole down there when he was working. That was a fun day too. And
Oh yeah.
he said we were absolutely insane because we didn't have much time. We basically drove 3 hours, spent the whole day running around just to spend 15 minutes talking to Creole and then turn around and went home.
Go back. Yeah.
He said, "How many fools do you know will drive 3 hours, spend all day waiting on somebody to show up, then spend 15 minutes with them and leave?" And I said, "Well, that'd be us." But there's no way I was missing meeting the Creole. No way I was going to miss that opportunity.
He's like, he's not exaggerating. I can hear them outside talking.
Yeah, yeah, we were looking in the windows and I was like, "No, man, it's somebody ain't him, ain't him." And I looked in the window, "There he is, I got him, right here. Here he is." It's one when he gets cops called on us.
Bad thing is that's one of those times you'd get yourself shot.
Yeah. People come to, "What are y'all doing?" "I'm looking for a Cajun named Creole, man." Yeah, that's that get people a little bit stressed out. There's two guys that are looking for some Cajun. They call it Creole. Call the cops.
Call the cops. So they must be out of their mind smoking something. They're doing something.
In my mind at that moment, he was with 3 hours away, and there was no way. I didn't know at that time. Would I ever in my lifetime, ever get a chance to shake Jeremy DeFore's hand? And I wasn't going to miss that opportunity. If I had to drive
Oh, no.
3 hours and hang out all day long, if that's what it takes, I'm going to do it. But I'm going to
Oh,
go
yeah.
down and I'm going to shake Creole's hand, and I did. And it was a great day. It was well worth the trip.
Absolutely. There's Irvin, the paid tourist. What's going on, buddy? Appreciate you
Hey,
coming in
what's
here.
going on?
And I highlighted earlier, Mr. Ugly Dog Lures is in the house. All right. Have we anybody come up with a word yet? Anybody thinking of a word? You ready? Yep. Hopefully somebody's got a word. I know out of 21 people in here, somebody's got to know of a word that little Miss Guy here can look up the definition of something that, like I said, is it's used it's a word that we normally don't use, but it describes our everydays that we go through.
We don't make it tough, don't you?
Oh, Creole came up with one.
Thixotropic.
Let's go with the first word. Steve Ransom says, I can't even say that word, that one.
Less vicious. Why?
Because it's stolen?
No.
Yeah. The property of becoming less vicious when subject to an applied stress. So, it could be. Tim Molina says, I thought it meant dense jungle. There
Yeah,
we go.
that makes
Do that
sense
one
to
then.
me.
Do that one then. Yeah, there's another one. Mundane. Mundane.
Okay, that's easy. That's funny.
All right.
Intensely irritated and frustrated.
Ah. Yeah, that could sum up our everyday life
Yeah,
easily.
I'm done that to people on a daily basis.
Yep, I think we all are. And we'll do this last one. Yeah, Creo said that he said it means not solid but not liquid. Yep. It's the property of certain souls in which they are saturated with water. Yep. That's basically what it said at the end of it.
Now, see, now I should have known that. I took that class. That's when you have a
What?
competent person on a job site. They call it a competent person that
Yeah.
tests the soil and stuff and everything before people start digging. And you see if it's safe.
Mhm.
If you have to have a trench box, how deep can they dig, and it's a whole big thing about that.
All right. Sky's going to do the word mundane.
Lacking interest or excitement.
Which is what my wife thinks about fishing. My wife thinks fishing is mundane because she don't like going fishing. You're good. All right. What we got? What is this one? So if someone is in your fishing spot, you need to be fixed topic. So you need to be not solid, but not liquid.
Now, see, now Creole said he teaches that class. Well, I took that class a couple of times. I actually had to. Anytime you're running heavy equipment, digging, and
Oh yeah.
there, freaking Mancoon cat, man, this thing. That's not even the big one. That's not
Oh,
the
the
big
cat.
one. That's
Yeah.
not the big one. I got one that weighs 20 pounds, man.
Good night.
That there I think weighs like 17. Yeah, I got a 20-pound cat running around somewhere.
So talk about what do you see coming up in the future for you, as for your channel or just for fishing wise? What are some goals that you've got now set?
Well, we're always gonna keep going. I fish all year long, even through the winter and everything.
Mhm.
I'm starting to learn my limitations though. I don't know how much longer. I mean, I'll be 58 years old in November, and climbing up down them rocks is getting old. And I pretty much built my channel around being a bank angler, and I love bank angling, and I love fishing from the shoreline. Um, it sets you apart from there's way more boat fishermen than there are bank anglers, but we've got a lot of good bank anglers out there. There's quite a few of them,
Mhm.
but the boat fishermen far outnumber. And me and my wife been talking about. I've got 2 boats in the backyard, but man, I'm done with those. We're gonna have to get something way bigger than those. I got a 12-footer and a 10-footer out there, and I used to run those on the Mississippi River, just John boats with a 6-horse Johnson on it. I'm way too old for that now. My reflexes aren't what they used to be. And back when I was younger and a whole lot slimmer, with a life jacket on, I wasn't worried about it. I could swim with the current and get out of that river. If I went in the river now, yeah, it'd be the end of Danny Stone Outdoors. I can promise you that, even with a life jacket in them small
Yeah.
boats. We may be looking into getting a boat sometime in the future, but not anytime soon because I'm not done with the bank yet.
Absolutely.
We're going to keep on bank angling for a while. But eventually you'll see it when I get to the point where I can't carry all that crap up and down. It takes me working 3 to 5 trips. Anytime I do a live stream, especially at night, man, I'm carrying down rods, rod holders, bait. Well, everything you got on your boat, guess what? I'm carrying it down them rocks to the bank. And at night when I have to carry the generator, extension cords, lights, it's just getting where it's too hard to do. So yeah, the day's coming when we'll throw all that crap in a boat and we'll do like everybody else.
So how's it been? Because I know you went out a few times with Richard. You went out with Richard. You went out with Parker too, haven't you?
Haven't been on Parker's boat yet.
Okay, it's just Richard's.
Just Richard.
So how's that been doing for you? Like, is it because I know, like you said, you've been on boats before, but
yeah,
like truly pure catfishing off the boat.
I tell you what, fishing with Richard is absolute joy. I love hanging out with him and being out there and having the mobility of us moving around. And we get to talk a lot of times about, for some reason, when you're trapped on a boat,
you can't go nowhere.
You'll have far more conversations than you do when you're on the bank. But me and Richard have fished on the bank, and we're usually set apart from each other, so our rods don't get tangled up. So you don't get as many conversations on the bank as you do when you're sitting in the boat and he's right there in the chair beside you. He's got 3 rods out on that side, and I got 3 rods out on that side. That's one of the benefits to boat fishing to me is you actually get to spend time with the other person and get to have conversations with them and stuff that you don't have on the bank. Because that's my thing. When I'm on the bank, I don't like to be crowded. I'm like, you go down there and I'm going down here. There ain't none of that sitting right beside each other on the bank. That's just weird.
Oh yeah.
There's plenty of room for you to scoot away from me, buddy. You're not sitting right beside me.
There's Brian B. catfishing in here. He said, Danny, zip it.
No.
No, he can't zip it. If he zip it, they ain't gonna have a show.
That's it. That's it. I have taped it down quite a bit. You know, and there's people that, I mean, if you've ever watched my lives, when it's just me and nobody's up on panel, you know, I basically just for the entertainment purposes and stuff, I talk to myself and I ramble on and I just don't stop. You know, that's my thing. You know, the bank angling and being on there, and I try to. I don't. One thing I can't stand is if I went out there and threw out some rods, turned on the camera, and just sat there. You're looking at me watching the rods. I'm not saying nothing. I'm not doing nothing. We're just hoping something can. We're hoping a fish bites, so there's something happens. You know. Well, I'm gonna keep something happening all the time. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna tell stories. I'm gonna cut jokes, and I'm gonna just. I don't care if I'm talking about bird flying over my head. You're gonna hear me talking about something. Now, there's people ask me, said they've noticed that when I go up on other people's shows, if I'm a guest on their panel, or even if I'm doing a live and I have a guest, you don't see me do that. I don't bring Danny Stone out during those situations because I try to be respectful of the other people on panel and give them opportunity to talk. I know I'm cutting you off a lot tonight, but this is your show, so I don't care. But I rein it in when I have a guest on the show with me, or if I am a guest. Because a lot of people say, you know, what's wrong with Danny Stone? He's not acting like I said, because I don't do that except for on my channel when it's just me. That's my thing. But it's solely out of respect. Don't read anything into it. And don't misinterpret it. You know, ain't nothing wrong. I'm just chilling out. So I can't control it when I want to. Creole, right. When we did the River Rat show, they just turned me loose. They said, man, don't hold back. Go for it.
271 Rebel Outdoors has joined us. There's Fins and Fowls joined us there.
Yep. But yeah, Creole and Parker and all of them, they've told me sometimes, said, man, don't hold back. They said, when we're doing the show, he said, if we're not yelling fish on, you fill that air time. And I said, I got it. Yeah. Don't worry, I got it covered.
Well, it's like Brian B says, you do it right, brother. So entertainment is the key. You do it well. And that's the thing is I've seen a lot of live fishing, and when they don't say a word, it's like, I hate to say it's kind of like me watching golf.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Boring.
You got to have to just be able to ramble on nonstop. You kind of got to have a screw loose. You know what I'm saying? Where stuff
Sampy will be the person to have that conversation with. He's like he says, I tell dirty jokes all night.
And I have explained to people. They said, you talk about anything? I said, no, I don't. I said, you wouldn't believe the stuff that pops in my head when I'm sitting like Riverbank and sitting there and I'm talking to the camera, which when I'm talking to everybody in chat. It's a one-way conversation. You guys are just listening to me go. You know, I can't see the screen, so a lot of times they're asking me questions. If you do see me during the daytime and I'm trying to read chat, it's always this right here. I'm just trying to get in there. And they said, you say anything and everything? I said, no. I said, there's actually a green room in my head where stuff gets vetted before it comes out here. Okay, hold on, I got one loaded up in the green room. Let me check it out. Yeah. We can do that one.
Dave says, I grew up on a farm. I can talk to a fence post.
Exactly. I grew up on a farm. Man, you
gotta have some screws loose for sure.
Yeah.
What's up, Kevin Fishes?
Hey, Kevin.
And Melissa, Kevin's doing okay. He's just tired. I mean, he's just
Yeah.
his work is kicking
Going
his
back
butt
to
trying to
work,
go
and
back.
he's readjusting to his schedule, and it's going to take him a while.
Oh yeah. Melissa
Yeah.
did say she wanted to fish with Coda.
Who did?
Melissa.
Oh yeah. Hey, Coda will fish. Absolutely, she'd love that. And Coda's really gotten back into it big time. You know, they fished the first time this year that they fished again. They hadn't been fishing with me in a long time. Not quite as long as Stacia, but they decided they wanted to do Rogers catfishing for kids tournament, and her and Brantley went in that, and in their age group, Coda got biggest fish and most fish, and Brantley got smallest fish. So
Mm-hmm.
they swept the board and won all the prizes in that category. Coda wound up with a Mad Cat's rod, a Hellcat rod, a bunch of tackle. Brantley got a Mad Cat's rod, a $50 gift card. They got a
Yeah.
ton of stuff, and here's the thing that's great. They appreciated every bit of it. They loved everything they got, but they had so much fun during that tournament fishing that if they hadn't won nothing, that was all it took. Just to be out there fishing against other kids and with other kids, they had a blast. And that got Coda fired up, and she's been bugging me to go fishing ever since.
Oh, absolutely. Tim Molina. Tim Molina says the problem if I said everything that pops in my head, everyone would have me blocked. Oh my gosh. I could just imagine Tim. I could just imagine stuff that would come out of his head.
Get you a green room. Get you a green room and put it right here. And you let it go through the green room before it comes out here. And there has been stuff slip out of the green room. I'll open the door and let something out and something else come out too.
Yep. That filter decides to take a break.
You gotta open that door and grab that thought, pull it out, slam it back shut again real quick. You know what I'm saying? 217 Rebel Outdoors. My little brother, what's up?
Yep.
I met John at Baldwin. He came up there and met with us. Man, 217 is a great guy. Man, I dropped the bat. There's some people when you meet them the first time, and within the first few minutes, you know that's your kind of people.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
217, he impressed me, and I think the world of him. I do. And so I started calling him my little brother. I adopted him. Yeah, love him to death. Great guy, great personality, kind heart. You couldn't ask for better. If you ever get a chance to hang out with him and fish with him, I highly advise you do.
Absolutely. So what do we got plans for this week for you?
Well, like I said, we get the kids every other weekend. So Coda Brantley and Kylie will be with us. She'll pick them up Friday, and right now we have a plan to either Saturday or Sunday. The whole family's going to go out fishing, and we're going to try to do it and go live. So you'll have me and Stacia and all three of the River Rat Brats with us. If everything works out, we'll make that happen. We'll see. It depends on weather and just how everybody feels, you know.
Brian B. said Tim is not approved of speaking his mind 100%. I lose my bladder if he did. I know how he rolls. Oh, good gosh.
Yeah.
So we got plans for the River Rats this weekend or no? Or everybody working?
Man, our schedules are so screwed up right now. Creole's been doing a lot of traveling and working on the road.
I figured he's back off of being close to home. He's back to traveling again.
Yeah, he's been bouncing around everywhere. Jerry took on a higher leadership position at his work, and so they're sending him off all kinds of. He was going like Nebraska or Kansas or something like that. I don't know, one of them flyover states. He's been bouncing back and forth to there. The schedules are all screwed up, and of course, Richard, his wife Stephanie, which everybody knows, caught picking fishing. She's gearing up for. It's coming up on cotton picking season, and when that starts, she'll work 7 days a week for I don't know, God, I think like 3 or 4 months. Well, she works 7 days a week nonstop, and I think it's like 10 or 12-hour days that she works.
Yeah.
And Richard's trying to spend as much time with her as he can before that starts up because basically he doesn't get to see his wife, just in the past, hi, I'm going to work or hi, I'm coming home. They
Yeah.
pass each other on the doorway as he's going in, she's coming out, vice versa. So he's spending as much time with her as he can right now. So everything on that, as far as those, put on the back burner. But we'll get everything figured out, and we'll get something going.
He's been working on his OnlyFans, so not this weekend. His pimp's not playing with him. That's why you see him on Tuesday nights in the hotel room because he's been working on his OnlyFans in the hotel room.
Yep. Well, the deadly curse of work has that's what's going on with River Ranch, where Jerry and Jeremy Creole and Parker, they're bouncing back and forth on the road. Richard, like I said, his wife's fixing to start pulling 7 days a week, long shifts, and with him working, that's priority, and I completely understand that. I absolutely understand that. So we ain't going nowhere. We're just taking a little hiatus while we're getting all this worked out.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I've not been doing a lot of fishing because where my daughter now is in the private school setting now, and she actually has started tennis. So we've been having tennis practice 4 days a week. So yeah, so I'm at tennis practice.
What? He said the cleaning lady at the hotel probably thinks he is doing OnlyFans. He's got the ring light, the camera set up by the bed and everything. She goes to her cleaning room. She goes, okay, I'm gonna clean this one and get out of here as fast as I can.
And she goes, she probably makes sure that your bed is cleaned.
Yeah, I'm gonna get in here and get out of here before he comes back.
Yeah. There's Miss Becca in the house. What's going on, Miss Becca?
Becca! I'll tell you what, that is Coda is one of her biggest fans. She loves Becca to death. And I don't get it. But I don't discourage her. But she's a huge fan of Tim, Catfish Dog.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, Coda thinks the world of Tim, man.
I know she does.
When we were down in Florida, we were down in Florida fishing, and Coda was off camera, and Tim came up in the chat and said something. Hey, Tim, and Coda looked at me. She goes, "Is that my Tim?" And I said, "First off, you ain't got no Tim, girl."
Yeah, you're good young. Yes.
I said, "Yeah, that's Catfish Dog." And she ran over, jumped for the camera, and goes, "Hi, Tim." But she loves Becca and she loves Tim. Those two. I mean, she's got a lot of people that she watches and likes. But if you asked her off the top of her head to name 2 people that she absolutely loves and adores on YouTube, she's going to tell you Becca Bud Tramp and Catfish Dog. And Coda's going to tell you that for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And we got our buddy old Dominic Hollis in the
house.
Dominic.
Yeah, I was over fishing. We was doing a Fever Believer, and he's over creeping around behind me.
He is a creeper.
Yeah, dude, that's the second time I've been over in that area fishing, and Dominic Hollis has snuck up on me, man. I was there last year over camping, and I was fishing out there on one of them piers, and all of a sudden somebody touches me on the back of the neck, and I turn around and it's freaking Dominic. I'm like, dude. He's always creeping up on me, man. I don't know what the deal is. He's a creeper for sure.
Yep.
But he'll sneak up on you like a cat, man.
All right, guys. It is past that hour of the night.
Yep.
I know Danny Stone's got to get up early in the morning and get to work.
I do.
And I've got to get up early in the morning and go to work too. So, but appreciate everybody coming in here, hanging out, hitting that thumbs up and share it out. Mr. Danny, appreciate you, man, for taking your evening out and coming up here and hanging out and talking with us.
It was fun just hanging out and just shooting the breeze and just it, just talking about whatever,
and that's the things I kind of like. I like being able just to sit back, relax, just not really having a plan because it's just it's a lot more fun.
Well, I've been a guest on a lot of shows, and they always say the same thing. Said, "Well, we're trying to figure out, questions to ask." I said, "Don't worry about it." I said, "If you ain't gonna have no dead air time, I'll take care of it."
Well, it's like what we were talking about. It's like I was like before the show, we're like, "Do you have anything you want to talk about?" I'm like, "He's like, no. We'll just wing it. We'll talk about this.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. We'll just wing it."
That's it.
Yeah.
The very first show I was ever on as a guest was DuckTales with LG Bass and Pontoon Jody. That was the very first one. It was episode 5. I was episode 5 of DuckTales, and Tom was talking to Jody and saying, "Well, what kind of questions do we need to ask him?" She goes, "Don't bother writing anything down. Don't worry about it.
Yep.
Just if you got it written down, one up, throw it in the trash. Don't worry about it."
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to get a format where you got a scheduled thing going through there because Danny ain't going to allow it. And I did. That's like, get out of the way. I'm going to talk.
What's going on, Nick? Appreciate you coming in here, man.
Nick Hoagland, what's up, brother?
Yeah. But appreciate everybody that came in, and we will see you all next week right here on this channel. And I think we're going to have, I don't know if it's confirmed yet or not, but I think we were going to have Fishing with Tuck next week. So a good person, a good friend of ours. Tuck is always he's always a good fisherman. So we're going to have him next week on the show. And I think we're going to have Fishing with Squirrel the week after that. And Mr. 2-time Tennessee state record holder for Blue Cat, Micah.
Get out of here.
Micah's going to be on the show in 3 weeks.
That's going to be a good show.
Yeah, so
which are all definitely. Good shows, but that one there, that's going to be a real good show.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to pick his brain that night. Definitely. So that's going to be it. That's going to be more of a schooling show, learning experience, because we're basically going to have him walk us through how to hunt trophy catfish. So, but appreciate it, everybody, and we will see you on the next one, and we'll close it out with our closure. Catch you all later, guys.